Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SC2Improve Team League Season 2 playoffs. We have 8 teams remaining from over 50 teams who started out in Season 2. 8 remain, and tonight we lose one of those 8 as we have a round of 8 match between Vega Squadron and Against All Authority. Against All Authority, squeezing through Group A in 4th position, coming out just ahead of last season's runners-up Cascade following their last match of the season. And just made it here as possibly, one of the real underdogs right now of these playoffs. Their opponents, Vega Squadron, 11-0 in the group stage in Group B, untouchable so far. They're definitely the favourites to not just go on here today, but probably steamroll through their semi-final and to really make a bid in the final against what many people will be expecting, My Insanity, to be there waiting for them. So, really kind of expecting to see a Vega Squadron domination today. We're going to be starting off with Dana coming out for Vega Squadron, this Polish Zerg player. He's going to be going up against the French player, of course, against All Authority, of course, a full French team. So the French player Chubbs, formerly of Alien Invasion, joined AAA against All Authority about a month or so ago now, and he will be their first player here to get them started. Our first features are coming in a standard WCS map pool. Way Station, Altazim, Merry-Go-Round, Frost and Habitation Station are gone. That leaves King Sejong or Overgrowth. And we will be getting into this game very shortly here. And King Sejong is the final veto here, so we're going to be starting up on Overgrowth. So get this going here, guys, very quickly. Just get set up. Just create this game, and we'll get into this in a couple of moments' time. How are you all doing in the chat? How is everyone feeling here today? Are you ready? Who are you all cheering for? Who wants to see Vega Squadron? Who wants to see AAA move on through? As we do begin to invite these two players and the other streamers into the channel. Who else is playing? Chubbs. Invite to game. Okay, so we're inviting everyone to the game. We're just going to make sure everything is pretty much all set to go. And my StarCraft crashes. Brilliant. Ah, come on, StarCraft. So my StarCraft's just having a moment here. Hopefully we'll be back in a moment, and there we go. And just set up the Game Hall lobby here to get started. Don't think Vega Squadron actually have a thing on Game Hall. But yeah, we're just getting started up here. And we're all just getting set to go, just waiting for the couple of observers to jump out of this. And we're all set to go. So how is everyone doing in the chat? Again, we're getting set to go here in a couple moments time. And it is going to be PVZ to start things off. So if everyone is ready, we will be able to finally get going now into this round of 8 game between Against All Authority and Vega Squadron. Vega Squadron undefeated so far this season. Can they keep that up? That is going to be the real question here as we do start on up into Overgrowth for game number 1. Last season we did not see actually at all Against All Authority in the Team League. They came through this season. They qualified for the Open, qualified for the First Division, and here they are in the final 8 in the playoffs. Last season, Vega Squadron, they had a pretty good season themselves, but they did actually end up losing to Missing in Action in the round of 16. MIA went on to then take down AT Gaming and fell to Cascade in the semi-finals. So Vega, they didn't have the playoff performance they were hoping for last season. Let's see if they can change that up here today. This is Vega Squadron versus Against All Authority. This is the round of 8 of the SC2Improve Team League. It's single elimination now. A loss means you're out. It's over. And your run is no more. And again, this is ZVP loading on up here on Overgrowth to start us off. Vega, again, favourites strong, probably one of the strongest teams in the league, with players like Elfie, Johnny Rico, Livezerg to fall back upon, Hope as well. And I mean, even Dana is such a strong opening player. Like, Dana could be a player for many teams to come out as even the ace player, yet here he is, just used as the opener for Vega Squadron. Guys, it's a best of 7, and we are starting up right now in the upper right hand corner with Vega Squadron's Dana. In the lower left hand corner, we have the pink Zerg player. He's called Julie here, but in reality he is Chubbs, playing for Against All Authority, starting up for his team. And let's see where this series is going to go. Are we going to see AAA pull off an upset? Are we going to see Vega just do what we know them to do so well, and that's just steamroll through team after team after team? We'll be finding out here very soon. A pylon coming down. Good luck how funds are called. And, well, we'll be seeing how this game progresses here. As PvZ, we're probably going to see a bit of a slow start from both of these teams. You know, neither team probably going to rush into anything too ridiculous, I'm sure. As we do just see, you know, probably, I mean, really, AAA, I really feel they need this first map, because they're the underdogs, and momentum in team leagues can mean so much. If you get the first map, not only do you then always have the advantage in being able to, you know, when your opponent ties it up, you will be playing with your player on your map choice to retake the lead in the series, and that can be so huge, because, you know, if basically you trade off, if you always win on your own maps with your own players sniping, then you're in a fantastic position, and you will, if you have that first map win, then take the victory here. Gateway expand coming down here for Chubbs. That double gas on the way. It has been a hatch first out of Dana. Nothing really too, you know, too crazy here at all. I mean, just a fairly standard play. And Chubbs probably going to be looking to throw down his Nexus at about a couple of minutes' time, as this probe and drone have a little bit of a fight here. Another probe being pulled off the line to turn this drone away. Wants to make sure he doesn't get hatch blocked, but of course with that gateway already down and probes checking down here, very unlikely that will happen. And there goes that drone, running away right now, running back home to get to the other side of the map and just fall back to safety. Cybercore on the way here for Chubbs once again, as we see a free hatch before pull from Dana. So here he is, he's scouting with this drone to just make sure what his opponent's up to, and he responds with kind of mega greed. He sees a gateway expand, he knows from here he can just get down 3 hatches, and then his pool doesn't go for that gas beforehand. But let's see what Chubbs does. I mean, he's actually still making a zealot here, so it might be that he does get aggressive, he does move across the map, as he is going to drop his Nexus very soon. But okay, he cancels the zealot to get the Nexus down a little bit faster. So without any scouting from Chubbs, he is not going to be able to really punish this or identify this. He's not going to be able to do anything about it at all. So Chubbs, by not scouting, is kind of shooting himself in the foot a little bit. You know, he's saying, I'm going to be a bit greedy, not scout, gain that little bit of extra mineral boost. But in reality, he's just going to let Dana get away with this opening here. Mothership core pops out, no Stalker just yet. There's Overlord sitting right in the middle of the base. That could be picked off if a Stalker was started up a little bit sooner, but Dana does start to move that away right now. It is going to be a sentry coming out of the gateway. So already Chubbs are looking to just start building up energy on these sentries. You know, hallucination is so vital in this matchup. Scout what your opponent's going for, but also the force fields. And the real kind of tell is going to be what tech is Chubbs going to go for, and it is going to be that Stargate. So this early sentry is very likely just to hallucinate, make sure nothing ridiculous is coming out, and also to start building up force field energy so that in the end, when he takes this third base, most likely from this Stargate opening, he's going to have a lot of force fields to defend any pressure, to deflect these Zerg units, which may stream across the map. Dana with gas on the way right now. He will be saving up for probably metabolic boost here very soon, and work account's going to start skyrocketing for him as well, of course, on these 3 bases. He'll know that there isn't too much here for his opponent just yet. He doesn't know, of course, that there's a Stargate down. He sees these 2 gateways, but that's about it. And if he actually does get in here, okay, he's going to see this. He's going to see the Stargate, and this is absolutely huge, because with the Stargate, you're always going to be able to just say, right, I know what's coming, and now all I have to do is make maybe a couple extra queens, make some spores, but from there, I can drone. All I have to do is make drones, because he's not going to have any fighting units to realistically come and kill me. And yes, I'm going to lose some workers to the Stargate play, more than likely, but in the longer term, I'm going to be able to just pump out so many drones, it's not really going to matter. So that scout absolutely huge here. The sentry just still trying to block that Overlord from coming back in, as the Twilight Council follow-up will be coming out here from Chubbs. And that's interesting. So, I mean, Blink very possibly the follow-up here. Now, these first Zerglings will see this Oracle coming across the map. 3 Spore Crawlers on the way at 1 in each of these mineral lines. Bulk boost on the way as well, but of course that's not going to help the Zerg player too much here, as this first Oracle does come in. It's the only Oracle being made as well, and we'll just get reflected here almost immediately. So right now this Stargate has been a complete waste of an investment. This Oracle can still be useful, it can still move around and scout, but it hasn't got that worker damage he will have been looking for early in this game. Now he heads into Blink. The problem is, if he goes for a 2-base timing instead of taking a 3rd base, which, you know, it's not sure which he's going to do just yet. If he goes for that 2-base timing after the Stargate, after the Oracle, it's going to hit that much later that it could really cause a bit of an issue here. There's a couple of worker kills going down, and that's 3 workers dead, but again, not really as many as he probably would have hoped for here, and it all comes down to that initial Zergling scout earlier on in this game. Bunch more gateways starting to get added on. This takes us up to about 7 in total, so it's going to be just a straight up Stalker, Blink Stalker, all in. That Blink being chrono boosted here again. That Oracle not getting as many work kills as it would have liked means that this Blink follow-up isn't going to be as strong as you may expect. Now, we do see Eva Chambers starting to come in here. A couple more workers going down as well. Again, this is nice. 3 more, so taking 6 workers down total. Donna is on a huge amount of workers. He's on 66 with 6 more on the way. The real worry for him is he overcommitting to drones? Is he droning up a little bit too much here, expecting Chubbs to just take a 3rd base? Will this economy that he's got, will he have enough time to get out enough units to really turn this around and push Chubbs back? Chubbs is about to move out on the map here. 1 sentry gets left at home to be able to force field as an Overseer comes in. I mean, it scouts, and now immediately Dana knows what's up, and Spine Crawlers do begin at his 3rd base. So great scout from him right now as Chubbs begins to move across the map, and things are about to get tense here. As these Zerglings are going to come in from behind. They may try and get the probe. The probe kill would be huge, of course, as there's no other probe out on the map, and these Zerglings will not get that probe. They will just turn around here, and Chubbs slowly moving forward. These Spine Crawlers are going to finish up. 13 roaches in production here for Dana, and again, he's on 70 workers, so if Chubbs doesn't win with this, I mean, he is dead in this game. He's not going to have an economy to deal with this, or to contend with this at all. Oracle coming forward, he sees the defensive positioning here. He may try and commit. Dana's going to lose a... just doesn't lose a roach, actually. Initially here, 7 Stalkers warping in at a time. There's the first 7 on this side coming across here to join up. There's another panel coming in. These Stalkers going to start trying to trade here, nearly getting a roach. And they will just keep poking forward and trading as best they can. There's a lot of force fields available, and there's a nice set of force fields, really catching a few of these roaches here. Donna not comfortable in actually committing any further forward with the rest of his units. Good pick off here initially by Chubbs, but more and more roaches continuing to come out. The single mothership core is actually slowly picking away at these Spine Crawlers. There's the Guardian Shield, there's a Time Warp. Well, the force fields, the ice for 2 force fields to the right hand side, and a couple coming down on the left, and maybe a little bit too late. Another Time Warp comes down as well. Force fields are starting to fade. Chubbs really needs to push on through right now. He's still got a lot of Stalkers here, but of course more reinforcements are continuing to come in. Spine Crawlers getting taken down, and Oracle helping out against the Queen. That Queen will go down now. Drones being pulled as well, and Chubbs is starting to make this work as Stalkers are going to be blinking backwards here. More and more roaches continuing to come through. Spine Crawlers from the natural coming and helping out as well, but we have Overlord stand. We have a lot of roaches actually burrowing here. There's no detection, or is there? Yes, there is. The Oracle getting a lot of free roaches here for Chubbs, and Chubbs continuing on with this. He's going to have, I think, the momentum to continue forward and maybe even just push through for victory. Spine Crawlers continuing to come forward, but there's just not the roaches here to back these up anymore, and Chubbs takes down 1 Spine Crawler. He's going to get a second here if these roaches decide to disengage at any point, but they're just going to keep coming forward knowing this is his last chance. The Spine Crawler brothers, but it's going to die soon after. Another Spine Crawler moves a little bit further forward, but that is not going to be enough. A blink forward by Chubbs. He catches a roach, he gets the Spine Crawler. He's going to get this 3rd base. And from here on out, I mean, Dana is in a troubling position. He did overdrone a little bit too much. He should have had a few more roaches out initially. That would have absolutely crushed this attack, but he was just a little bit too unaware. He'd already droned up to 70 before he came in with that Overseer. Now we see a counterattack by Dana. Realize we can't fight this army straight up anymore. But a single warp in back at home for Chubbs once these warp gates off cooldown. And look at that, he even warps himself on the other side of the wall here. At the same time, Chubbs just continuing to poke through with the majority of his army, and drones being pulled once again, going to come in from behind, but there's just not really the roach number here for our player. The drones get surrounded, but more and more of them fall. GG, well played, and against all authority, go 1-0 up in this best of 7, and the underdogs have got the momentum and the start that they need here. Wow. I didn't press the button and you saw me editing the scoreboard, but that's okay. Oh wow, what a great game. We're going to be getting into game number 2 here in a couple moments time, guys. Of this best of 7 Vega Squadron, picking the next map, picking the next player. We'll see who they pick again. They've got Johnny Rico, they've got Alfie, they've got Livesec, they've got Hope. They've got such a multitude of players they can pick to send out here, and we'll be seeing who they do send out in the next few moments. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break here, guys, but when we're back, game number 2 will be live for Vega Squadron versus Against All Authority, and we'll see which of these teams, whether Against All Authority will take a 2-0 lead, or whether Vega Squadron can come back a little bit and even up this series. Guys, don't go too far. We'll be back here in just a few moments time, and if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that follow button on Twitch. We'll be back here as soon as we can. Hello guys, and welcome back to SC2Improve Team League Season 2 playoffs here. Round of 8 match right now. Our first match of the playoffs here today between Vega Squadron and Against All Authority. We're waiting for Chubbs to ready up, and once he is ready, we'll be getting into this game. So it'll actually just be another moment or so here as Chubbs has just be to the toilet. So we'll be into this game in a couple of minutes. But Against All Authority, Chubbs taking that first map against Dana. Now Chubbs, he only joined Against All Authority about a few weeks ago now. I don't know exactly, but for the first part of this season, he was playing for Alien Invasion, and yeah, I mean, he was playing for Alien Invasion, and while playing for Alien Invasion, he was really a really strong player for them. He was, you know, he was always coming out early on, and he was, I mean, Alien Invasion had a great season, and they never really relied on their kind of stronger players. So quite often we did see Chubbs come out, and he did get a few kills against some of the top teams in the group, and yeah, I mean, in general, he was one of them players to just kind of look out for from Alien Invasion. And again, proving his worth here right now, as we do just wait for Chubbs to get back here and ready up so we can get into this. Trying to find some stats. Maybe Chubbs actually all killed alternate last season. Who else did he beat? I know he had some good games against some other teams as well. Can't quite find any of those right now. I think he had an all kill against EC Visualize as well, and what else? And we don't actually have stuff filled in for the rest of them. He had a couple of wins against Darkstar 2s, but so yeah, I mean, he's a strong player, and he's always been playing well for whichever team he's playing for in these clan wars. So again, can he take down now the next player from Vega Squadron, which is going to be Alfie in a PvP? And of course, we know Alfie is the kind of master of PvP. So we'll see here very soon. As we are just waiting here for this game to resume. And of course, Alfie, a player who just you know, really could be expected even to you know, all kill any team in this league. So Alfie gonna be a scary proposition here, and can Chubbs maybe cause, you know, I'm not gonna say another upset because I don't think the first because I'm not gonna say that I think him beating Dano is maybe an upset, but he is on the team of the underdogs here, so the more maps he can take, you know, the better of a chance we have of seeing this overall upset here as we get into game 2 now of Against All Authority against Vega Squadron. Guys, it's the SC2Improve Team League, and we are going in game as soon as this map loads on up. It's King Sejong Station here for this PvP, and I wonder how Chubbs will play this one out as we do load on up. And everything is loaded. I'm just going to set the scoreboard here pretty quickly. And here we go. So we're actually going to be starting up in the upper left hand corner with our player who won game number 1, who took Against All Authority into this 1-0 lead. It's Chubbs. And in the lower right hand side of the map, the red Protoss player from Vega Squadron, it's Alfie. So again, Alfie, you know, renowned as king of PvP for a long time, and you know, I wonder how good his PvZ is as well, because against All Authority, you have so many good Zerg players that you know, the Zergs are really going to be the players who can carry them through in the later stages of this match. So Vega Squadron as well, with a lot of strong Zerg players too. I mean, down there we've already seen today, but Johnny Rico, Live Zerg, and Hope are basically their main roster. Apart from Elfie, they also have King Cobra, who's another Protoss player. So both these teams very reliant, I would say, on Zerg players to kind of carry them on forward. As we do wait to see what's going to happen here in the early stages of this PvP. No early probes heading across the map, so we're not going to see anything ridiculously aggressive to start off here. And this little red probe just moving around right now from Elfie, just scouting out his base, make sure he's not getting proxied, and he will not actually go down to the natural. Or maybe he will have to take a gas. No, he won't. It's just a single gas right now. It looks like Chubb's going to head into a double gas. As well, probably both these players taking a double gas, but Chubb's going to take his second gas. Okay, about the same time as Elfie, but his first gas ever so slightly later. No real differences here though altogether, and Elfie seems to be a little bit ahead on his build in general. He's a little bit ahead in one of his probes. His gas is a little bit ahead, so a little bit of an interesting lead that Elfie has developed here. Again, just scouting early on to see if there's any kind of second 2 gateways down here, you know, any kind of early stalker chrono boost pressure. You know, we quite often on this map we see a couple of gateways come down here, and we see players go for where they start with a couple of zealots and then they get or just a single zealot and then just start chrono boosting out stalkers. We have definitely seen that before. So this probe heading across the map right now from Elfie, he's going to be able to get over in towards the main base and get a bit of a scout going. Chubb's doing the same thing, just a little bit later with his own probe, and he's starting to head across with this right now. Now, second gateway coming up for Chubbs here, so he's going to invest a little bit more into these gateway units earlier on. Most likely going to be a couple of stalkers, or probably 3 stalkers in total. Of course, a nice strong defensive build gives him the map control as well, the ability to be a little bit aggressive if you would like to. As Cybernetic's core finishes up here, probably going to see that Mothership core starting up, and again, just waiting to see a stalker starting here. Elfie, with his own Mothership core on the way, is yet to throw down a second gateway, so unlikely we'll see that sort of a kind of a mirrored playstyle from him. Most likely here, just expecting some kind of tech from him off of this one gateway. You know, Blink can work on this map. You know, Dark Shrines, can work on any map. But it is going to be the Stargate as well, and Stargate is definitely one of the stronger options. Especially considering how fast it is for any kind of air unit to head straight across over here now. Oracle or Phoenix is going to be the real question, I suppose, and I think an Oracle's nearly always a good choice to start up with, because if you can keep it alive throughout the game, it's going to be strong throughout. So it's going to be strong throughout. It's going to give you a lot of map control, etc., etc. Chubb sending his Mothership core around the right hand side of the map right now. As he has gone into Twilight Council here himself, so I do like this play by Chubbs. You know, Twilight Council is generally going to be the better kind of opening against the Stargate. It's going to be Phoenix from Elfie to start off though. But Chubbs looks as though he's going to be heading into Blink, and with Blink, of course, he's going to be able to chase down Phoenix a little bit better. He's going to be able to defend against them Phoenix when they come into his base. He's going to be a lot more mobile, and you know, Elfie shouldn't really die to any kind of Blink push. But, you know, he's going to have to make sure he lifts at the right time. And, oh, Chubb's coming in with his Mothership core. He has to recall out of there. Is he just going to sacrifice? No, okay, he's just waiting until the last moment to get out. And takes a bit of damage there, but he does get the important scout as well as a probe kill. So, Chubbs knows what's up right now. He's, did he see that robo facility coming down too? No, he did not. So he didn't see that robo facility, which is the follow-up here from Elfie from this Stargate. With 3 gateways up here, Chubbs and Pylons coming up the left hand side. He might try and get a little bit aggressive. I mean, the first Phoenix is on the other side of the map. There are 3 stalkers already here in the mineral line. You know, Chubbs could definitely get aggressive if he would like to. This Phoenix is most likely going to spot this probe. Yeah, definitely spots this probe. So he sees that, and Chubbs sees that he's underneath that, and this is going to probably just be one dead probe. He puts down a pylon anyway. I mean, Stalker and Mothership core are going to come over to help this out. His gateways are finished up here, so Chubbs can warp in if he would like to. He's actually warped in at home, so he's just waiting for the cooldown to come off of these gateways. Will he be able to save the pylon? No, he will not, so that's a little bit of a shame there. And Chubbs will begin to move out here in a couple of moments. Maybe no, he's actually just going to expand behind this. So, you know, realizing that his aggression is more or less thwarted here, he's just going to expand. But with these Phoenix Elfie, he can spot what's coming pretty quickly. He's actually stopped a 3 Phoenix to start going into Immortal production, which is, you know, basically just him saying, I feel like I'm under attack. I need an immortal here nice and quickly. But as he does spot that natural expansion, he'll just come down himself and throw down and expand. One Phoenix goes down, and that was a pretty nice pick off here by Chubbs. So one Phoenix dead, a couple of workers going down on either side. Nothing really too major though. Again, that's a big pick off there by Chubbs, getting rid of these early Phoenix. They're meant to be there to control the map, to really, you know, keep units in the Protoss in Chubbs' base. But of course not doing that right now. Forge is coming up at the same time here. The only real advantage Alfie would have, I would say, in this game is he's going to have an extra immortal or two on top of... he's going to have 2 more immortals than Chubbs at any point if they continue production at the same rate. But, you know, I mean, Chubbs has Blink, and that's a pretty big factor too. I mean, Blink's always going to be useful. He's already got this Twilight Council down, so he can go straight into +2 as well. Whereas, you know, at some point Alfie will have to still commit resources into that. And, yeah, I mean, these early resources in Phoenix... of course, not so great for Alpha anymore. You know, 2 Phoenix can't do that much. They can, yeah, scout around a little bit. That's nice, but other than that, they can't do too much. So these two Phoenix, they're more or less dead weight. Whereas Chubbs, he's got a lot of stalkers out and a few sentries, which are going to be again useful throughout this game. You know, there's never going to be a point where you're like, these stalkers are crap. You know, there's at some point, yes, they're not going to be as good as you know, other units. But compared to these Phoenix, which do manage to get a pro kill, I admit, so still finding a way. But interesting stuff overall. So what's going on? I mean, we've got Forges and Immortals coming out. It's just pretty much the compositions here being mirrored by either player. As Chubb's going to come in, Alfie coming in once again here, looking for a pick-off. And he does get another probe. So again, just forever being annoying. He's a couple of workers down overall, but again, if he can slowly keep picking away like this, he will even that up. It's not too much of a disadvantage overall, however way you look at it. There's this pink observer, just chilling. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have a pretty passive game from now, because of course, if at any point one player decides to attack, they're more or less always going to be in a disadvantageous position. So once again, you see Phoenix coming in here and taking a lot of damage, and one more shot. Oh, just gets away. Just gets away. I think the back stalker there wasn't quite able to hit, and just getting away with that hallucination coming into the main base now. As you know, I guess these Phoenix in a fight could still be fairly useful if they can come in and pick up the Immortals and take them out of the game. That would really give Alfie an even larger Immortal lead, and that's pretty significant right now. 5 Immortals to 1. He's investing into that Twilight Council of his own right now. Chubbs adding on 5 gateways here, so that takes him up to, I guess, 8 gateways in total. And Alfie's still on 2 gateways. I mean, he's really kind of waited a long time before getting these down. +2 starts almost immediately from Chubbs, where Alfie was just waiting for his Twilight Council before he can continue this on here. So Chubbs takes an ever so slight upgrade lead, but he's only going to have a 20-second window to really hit, and of course that can be easily changed with a quick not hallucination, this is the hallucination, with a quick chrono boost here or there. Chubbs again with a lot more gateways. He's really kind of going to be building up a bigger army, either to be aggressive or just to really make sure he's 100% safe when moving out towards this 3rd base. Alfie going to be coming in and scouting all of these gateways here very soon. In fact, has he already seen them? Well, I don't think he saw all of them, but now he definitely does. And he sees a lot of gateways, and he is actually the first person to throw down his 3rd nexus because he hasn't invested in as many gateways. So is this an opportunity for Chubbs to maybe be aggressive? I don't actually really think so. I don't think he's got that possibility here. Blink forward, picks off another Phoenix, and now just one of these remains out on the map. You know, I think both these players, they still get the 3rd base about the same time, so neither of them is going to be disadvantaged or taking a big advantage in this. So, yeah, I guess we're just going to continue on, and again, a bit of a passive game here. Hallucination is going to keep flying in, and going to be important to always continue this scouting. You know, around the map, see what your opponent's doing, see what your opponent's investing into. Chubbs has picked up a 30-second lead now on his upgrades. Again, it's not hugely significant. Alfie with this 1 Phoenix doesn't really have to, you know, keep hallucinating at least. Chubbs actually beginning to move out here now. Both players have Templar Archives down, so Archons are definitely easy to get out. What are the gateway units looking like though? I mean, right now there's a couple of Archons going to come in for Alfie, so that will even up over here. There's a few more Stalkers for Chubbs. And he's on more gateways, remember. He's on 8 against 5, so he can definitely warp in a bunch more Zealots than his opponent. This observing maybe not really prime position, actually. And Chubbs looks as though he will be getting aggressive here. Now, I mean, Elfie keeps flying around with this Phoenix. He doesn't necessarily see the army, but he will see a third base as Chubbs moves down, and it looks as though he wants to go for an attack. Both players finishing with +2. Elfie goes into +3 straight away. Chubbs just waits off on that because, again, it looks as though he wants to get aggressive. The heavier tech units are definitely higher in number for Chubbs. There's one extra Archon. Sorry, for Elfie. There's one extra Archon for Chubbs. The 4 more mortars for Elfie. Now, again, with 3 extra Zealots coming in per war pin, that could definitely make the difference in any kind of fight. And it looks as though we might have a bit of a fight. Does Elfie even know about this army over here? I'm not too sure if he does. He might spot this pylon. Which way is he going to go? I don't think he will. So he still doesn't really know about this. This Phoenix nearly going down to the cannon. And coming forward here with this High Templar, and he's going to get the feedback on the Mothership Core. That is, of course, pretty huge there, because that means no time warps or photon overcharges to help out in Elfie's defense. And here we go. What's this going to be dropping? It's going to be some Zealots coming in from the side for Chubbs there. Sorry, they're actually Elfie's Zealots, so he actually realizes he needs these to just help him defend here. Chubbs starting to come in. A few Zealots of his trapped in the back. There's not really anything to tank here for Elfie, and that's a bit of a problem. This time we're coming down. The Zealots are going to charge forward. They're going to connect with these Immortals, and Chubbs is pushing on forwards. Elfie is actually looking like he's in a lot of trouble. 2 Archons in the back here for Elfie are just going to get caught off completely. And probes are actually starting to be pulled here, but the Immortal count now actually leading for Chubbs. The Archons are still here for Chubbs as well. More Zealots coming in, of course, they're going to help so much. And Elfie is actually going to be broken here. What are we watching? Unbeaten all season long, and now they're coming to the playoffs, and now they are going to be 2-0 down. Chubbs takes the second map in a row. And against all authority. Against all authority. Are absolutely killing it. Whoa, 2-0 right now for them here in this best of 7, and things are starting to get really a little bit dangerous for Vega Squadron. Where do you go from here? You've lost one of your big players, Elfie. You haven't even drawn any of the big players from against all authority yet. I mean, Chubbs, he's definitely good, he's definitely strong, but you know they've definitely got a couple players who you would say are stronger than him. Elfie falls here, and I mean this is serious trouble here for Vega Squadron. Are they going to once again have an amazing group stage and fall immediately in the playoffs? Because that's what it's looking like right now. I mean, surely they bring out Johnny Rico next, that or Live Zerg. I mean, I guess they've got hope as well. It kind of depends. So either way, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break while we get Vega Squadron to pick their player and pick their map. We'll be back here in a few moments' time as soon as that decision is made and once we're in the lobby and ready to bring you guys this game. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit the follow button on Twitch, but also make sure to head on over to SC2Improve.net where you can catch up with all of the SC2Improve Team League news, information, and also the SC2Improve Summer League as well. Guys, we'll be back here in a few moments' time. It's 2-0 right now against all authority, are leading the way to victory right now against Vega Squadron, the heavy favourites. Alright guys, we are back, and I mean Vega Squadron, they continue here to send out the heavy hitters. Johnny Rico comes out next for them, and I mean they're in trouble. 2-0 down, you know, you're never not in trouble if you're 2-0 down. It doesn't matter how good your team is. We've already seen one of their really strong players who you expect to do really well fall here in the form of Elfie. You know, he's already down. He's gone. And now they've got to put Johnny Rico out against Chubbs, and while I do believe Johnny Rico can definitely beat Chubbs, they've got to win 4 of the next. They've got to win 4 games without letting AA take 2, and again, the odds begin to stack against them as this continues on here. So we're going to be jumping on into this game right here, right now, guys. If you're enjoying the Twitch, do make sure to hit the follow button. It does mean a lot, and you can see when we go live with other stuff. Shout out to the guys who are hitting the follow button already. Bore88 and Rattley. We're coming up to 1,000 followers on the stream, where I think we'll be 23 away now. So yeah, we're really trying to hit 1,000 followers. It would be absolutely crazy. So keep them followers coming. And yeah, here we are in this next game here. So PVZ cross positions on Frost. In the upper left hand corner, the pink Zerg player from Vega Squadron. It's Johnny Rico, the Scottish player, looking here to take Vega at least one game back in this series as they stand 2-0 down. He's been a staple for the team throughout the season. He's taken some big victories for them. And, well, let's see if he can take another one here today. In the lower right-hand corner, though, on an absolute killing spree right now. If this was Call of Duty, he'd have, like, some mega kind of helicopter in the air. Because I reckon one map win's worth more than, like, shooting some guy randomly with spray and pray or whatever. In the lower right hand corner, Chubbs from Against All Authority. Again, it says Julie, but this is Chubbs playing from Against All Authority here. The French team coming into this from 4th place in Group A. They come in from 4th place. They had a killer season, plus 16 map score with a 7-4 match score. It was really impressive from them. They squeezed ahead of Cascade. No, not Cascade. That was the other group. They squeezed ahead of Punchline, who also finished 7-4. They squeezed ahead of Alternate, who also finished 7-4. You know, they got in here ahead of another French team, ahead of a German team, and here they are, and they're making a stand right now. They're saying, you know, we're definitely the underdogs. We came through in 4th place, but we're not to be taken lightly here. And Vega Squadron definitely in a little bit of trouble. And again, I said earlier, this is the second time in the first season of SC2Improve Team League, Vega Squadron killed it in groups. They finished in did they finish in 2nd place? I think they finished in 2nd place. They went up against Missing in Action. They got all killed in the round of 16 of the playoffs. This season, we only have 8 teams in the playoffs. But, I mean, as it stands, they look as though they're just crashing out once again after being unbeaten. Not a single team unbeaten else has beat them. No other team in any group has been unbeaten this season. In the 1st division, at least. They beat teams like Alien Invasion. They beat Cascade. They beat Gravity, who have been playing really, really well lately. They beat Maxwell, who have played really well lately. They had a run for their money against REG Gaming. But they still came out ahead. You know, nothing has stopped them yet, and yet here we are. 0-2 down, and Chubbs is going for a 7-gate to just finish this quick and easily. Is Johnny Rico going to be caught off guard? He's completely gasless until just now. 6 minutes and he's gasless, and Chubbs is going to come in for 7 gateways worth of units. Rotron here coming down. A single Zergen's going to sneak into the base. Oh, but here's a Stalker. Shuts it down before he gets up the ramp, and that is huge. Overlords are probably going to start moving in towards this, but I mean, again, we've already got a pylon down here. We've seen some Zealots begin to warp in. There's only a single gas, so this is going to be a lot of Zealots. And Johnny Rico doesn't really have the money for roaches just yet. He doesn't have the gas for it right now, as he's only mining on 2 in this gas, and that could be a bit of a mistake here. He's really not got enough gas, I don't think. And he sees some Zealots starting up. He immediately starts a spine crawler. We're going to see a pylon coming up here for Chubbs. He's going to begin pushing forward, and oh my god, is Johnny Rico prepared for this? He's on 44 workers, which I guess you could maybe argue is a few too many right now for it to go up against the 7-gate, because I mean, this hits very, very early. Remember, he loses an Overlord, he hits a supply block. He's got 3 about to finish, so it's not that huge. He has no Zergling speed. He only has 1 Roach right now. He's got some more coming down from the main base, but Chubbs is here. He's in his 3rd base, and there's a lot of Zealots here. These Stalkers going to be in the back as well to help out. A single spine crawler already finishing. The Lings trying to get us around on these Stalkers a little bit as best they can. These Lings are going to go in and maybe try and get a pylon here. A couple of them going down. Another Stalker, some more Zealots warping in. Chubbs has a lot of minerals, which he just can't seem to spend right now. There's more and more Roaches coming out here. He hasn't even invested in the Mothership Core. That's how quick he is hitting this timing. He's thinking about going for an Overlord. He's running into 2 spine crawlers now. They're going to go down pretty quickly. Zealots kind of trapped in the back a little bit, not really helping out too much at all here. Johnny Rico comes in with a lot more Zerglings, and the Zealots, they're not here to really defend them Stalkers, which is what they need to be doing. This spine crawler is going to go down. A nice transfuse though. Another transfuse as well from Johnny Rico. And he's holding on well so far. These Zealots need to keep coming to the front and holding this off. And a lot more Roaches continuing to pour on out here. And Johnny Rico looks as though he's holding on for now. Chubbs not able to spend his extra minerals. And that 800 minerals, if that was spent in units right now, that would be absolutely game-changing. But it isn't. And it looks as though Johnny Rico, as much as I said this might look a little bit too scary for him, it looks as though he is going to be able to hold on here pretty easily. These Stalkers just not going to be enough against this number of Roaches. Chubbs, maybe he goes back home, maybe he starts a Robo, maybe he starts a Forge and starts just probing up now. adds on these extra gases, but I mean he continues to just warp in for now. Maybe hoping Johnny Rico gets a little bit too greedy at some point. Stalkers and Zealots here, both just moving around. Now starting to come up northwards. And then going to get a couple of worker kills here as Johnny Rico's a little bit out of position, so a nice little move there by Chubbs, pulls him back a couple of workers. He has got a forge now on the way, he has taken all of his gases, so he's going to start a transition here, but again, it's never really going to be easy from this point. I mean, where can you really go from here? Johnny Rico is going to have a lot of units out. He's going to start attacking very soon. You can see he's actually been doing the smart thing. He's droning up. He's taking tech by going up to lair. Chubb's going to have to fall back. Probably add on a Twilight Council. Just go for +2 and blink and just try and take a third base. I would assume, because no overtime is going to work from this point on. I mean, he's already got a lot of gateways up, so you'll at least be able to get a lot of stalkers. These roaches on ahead across the map. I mean, he needs some sentries, he needs some force fields to be able to cut this in half. Only fight half of the army at a time. And there's a third base just going to come down from him here. He sits about 16 workers behind and picks off this overlord. Johnny Rico looking good right now, though. I mean, again, Zergner speed, the rush speed on the way, so his own tech has definitely been delayed. But he will just build up very heavily as this game goes on. There's a fourth base for him too. Third base coming down here for Chubbs. I mean, again, this is, I think, one of his only real opportunities. His +1's halfway done. Again, I feel now's the time to add on a Twilight Council. Go into that blink, although that being said, he's just adding on a Robo. But again, I think Blink and +2 is going to be an important part of his build as well. But he really kind of struggles for gas right now. There is that Twilight Council, so he will go into this. And, well... Twilight Council on the way down. What's going on over here? I assume just a hallucination. This pylon still remains down here. Could be used for harassment if Johnny Rico starts to actually move out on the map a little bit. Could come in up here, but of course he's going to have a good... he's going to have good warning about it with this great creep spread down the left-hand side of the map. Streaming of units coming across now. And he's going to try and hit this third base. +1's about to finish for our Protoss player, so that's something, but that's pretty much it. Doesn't quite get in position there to get the force fields in time. There's +2 starting up and an Immortal as well. I think Johnny Rico's smart to fall back here. Just put on some pressure, maybe force a couple of warpins or cannons that weren't necessarily needed. And he's going to mutas behind this as well. That Spire on the way in a bit of an interesting location to the left of this fit. Actually really kind of vulnerable if an attack does come in. But of course fairly unlikely to be scouted if Chubbs just focuses his scouting towards the main, the natural. Fourth base finished up here for Johnny Rico. He's going to start saturating the gas so he can really go into full-on mutalisk production very soon. There's Chubbs with his +2 about quarter of the way done. Continuing to build Immortals here. They're not going to be useful at all. I mean, okay, I guess they're going to be fairly useful against the roaches that are out. If you would start going into Colossus, that would be much better for him. He has this drone's actually going to come up here. We'll spot this pylon. That comes up. So, looks as though Johnny Rico is thinking about just starting to take expansions all over the map. Of course, that's what we usually see. When we do see this mutalist sort of play, 9 meters on the way, take expansions all over the map very simply because you're going to want to just have as much gas income as you can. And the more, the more bases you have, if it does turn into a base trade, which is very likely, then if it does turn into a base trade, you have a lot of, you have a lot of time to kill off the Protoss player's base while he's chasing around all over the map trying to take down yours. I mean, Chubbs is in a good position to defend these mutas. He's going to have Blink, he's going to have +2 when the first few mutas come in. The real question is, can he deal with the mutas and the roaches and the lings on the ground all at the same time here? Templar Archives does sort up, and I mean, Storm would be a really great thing to have. Of course, that's a long way away, but even a couple of Archons, if you can get them in for a fight, they would be absolutely great in a straight-up fight. Mutas are going to come towards the natural, while Chubbs sits at this third base with the majority of his army here. He does have force fields. Johnny Rico beginning to split up. He's going to go to the high ground and harass from up high. Lings try and hit through the front. This mutas are going to take down this Zealot to help these Lings get through, and these Lings are going to get through. A blink forward from Stalkers though, and what are they going to go for? They could have had a couple of mutas there, but they didn't in the end. Cannons are going to start finishing up at the same time. Chubbs is under attack at his third base. However, he's got 3 Immortals here. 1 Immortal remains on 2 HP, and he will continue to be able to take down a lot of these roaches. And Johnny Rico's just throwing these units at this Nexus. Now mutas coming in, but Blink Stalkers are going to continue chasing as well. This is great for Chubbs. He's chasing this away. He's going to get a couple more mutas on the way out. And he holds on to this third base as well. And what a huge engagement there by Chubbs. A greatly efficient trade for him, and that was exactly what you needed to start kind of getting a bit of a footing in this game. He now starts +3. He's now going to get some Archons into the game as well. As Johnny Rico, he's already got a transition on the way though. Hive starts up here. And again, what's his plan going to be? I mean, it could very well be for some... he could go into Ultras, I guess. He's got some melee upgrades already. But that being said, I mean, Archon Immortal is a good composition for Chubbs against Ultralisks. It could just be he wants to head into a Greater Spire. I mean, there's really no answer at all for from Chubbs if a Greater Spire was to come down on the map. As once again, Johnny Rico splitting up units, looking to come in from different angles all at the same time. Let's go. And you got Lings though this time. I mean, all the Roaches are gone, so... I guess there's not really that many Zealots. Some more Archons coming in here. The Archons getting some big hits on these Realists as the Lings coming in as well. Stalker's coming forwards here. Phone Overcharge is used as Nexus as solo on HP. It only takes one click to get that targeted down, and he will get it with the Realists. But he takes a lot of damage in the meantime. And maybe now is an opportunity for Chubbs to just move across the map. As Lings are going to try and hit towards this natural expansion once again. But they will not make it past this Zealot and these couple of cannons here. They're going to try and pick off some of these probes, which are kind of long distance mining right now. Mutas looking to come in towards this third base once again. Chubbs is not in position. He will spot this though. A couple of Archons on the way in. He's going to start losing some workers though. He's changing direction to come back here. He should keep his Nexus alive. He blinks forward here. And he needs this Nexus. He needs the economy. Most importantly, the gas right now from this base. As he continues to walk in. Look at the creep spread from Johnny Rico, by the way. I mean, just all over the map. And it is going to be an Ultras Cavern coming down for him here to continue this up. He's just going to come in once again alongside these Lings. And this should be a dead third base now. As Chubbs is just going to say, well, you know what? Let's go across the map. And he is going to start edging out onto this creep. So, base trade initiated. But, I mean... Chubbs is kind of already under attack, and he's got to come down here to kill a base. Got to kill all of this up here. You know, this is realistically never going to work out for our Protoss player. As I mean, Mutas are going to come into this main base. There's a ton of that's actually just a ton of pylons on the way to support these cannons which are already up. But there's only one cannon remaining right now. That's going to go down. Chubbs has lost 50 workers already so far as he moves towards his natural. Spine are finished. The Mortals will chew through these, and with the Archons to tank, I mean, again, he should get through this. If he loses that Archon up to the top, that would be pretty huge. I mean, every unit is going to count here. Johnny Rico's making 16 more Mutalisks, so he knows that in the long run here, he can just wither away this army. And, I mean, at this point, he doesn't even need to. He's going to get the base in plenty of time as well. As Chubbs, I mean, where does he go from here? Does he have a probe out on the map? He's got 0 probes remaining, so he can't build anything. He's only got what he's already got, and I mean, it's all on this side of the map. Lings are picking away at it. All of this in the main base is going to go down. Mutas come over here to help with the natural. And Chubbs is about to be revealed. He's starting to turn back home. He's kind of hoping that he's done enough damage already, but I'm not sure if he has. A single Immortal up here is being taken down by the drones. The drones with the surround. At the same time, Chubbs still coming back home. Mutas and Lings kind of just all over the place, picking off whatever he can. Johnny Rico's got money to build a hatchery. He's got drones over here as well. That Immortal did go down to these drones over here. Immortal's being left here to just take down whatever builders they can. A few Stalkers in the main base too, as most of the anti-air comes across to try and help out against these Lings and these Mutas, which are now starting to come in. And is he going to be able to hold on? Well, I think we all know the answer to this, really. And that answer is going to be no. As these Stalkers are all that remains. These Mutas and Lings going to chase these down. Blink isn't going to save you now, Chubbs. And this is going to be the first map of the day here for Vega Squadron. 2-1 now. And that was a much needed victory for them. I mean, it was starting to get really kind of a little bit close between these two teams. I say between these teams. It's going to get a little bit too scary for Vega Squadron, I'd say, more than anything. Simply because they were at this position where AAA 2-0 up, you've always got to be worried about this. I mean, you just lost, again, Dana and Elfie, 2 of your strong players, to Chubbs, their starter. So you got to start questioning that. And, well, they do pull it back here with Johnny Rico. The next question is going to be, who do Against All Authority send out next? They've got the momentum still. You know, they now get to pick their player, they get to pick their map on which they want to try and beat down Johnny Rico. And if they do that, they're on match point. So, Against All Authority still have all the advantages in this series. So, well, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break once again here. You're watching the SC2Improve Team League Season 2. If you're enjoying the show, hit the follow button on Twitch, but also make sure to go check out our sponsors, Zowie Gear. You can check them out at zowiegear.com. Awesome sponsors and supporters of pretty much everything SC2Improve does. Shout out to anyone who is hitting that follow button. NWO Soul, Outro 76 and Monoret hitting that follow button during that last game. So thank you guys. That takes us up to 20 followers away from 1,000, and we'll be back here as soon as we get our players and maps set up here for game number 4 of this best of 7 all kill. Guys, Vega Squadron still trailed by 1 map in this best of 7. Let's see if AAA can retain their 2 map lead as they go into game 4 after this quick. And getting into game number 4 now. Vega Squadron catching a much needed break there in that last game as Johnny Rico finally takes down Chubbs to bring the series to a 1-2 scoreline. And we will be continuing on here into game number 4 right now. It will be on merry-go-round. We've got at least 2 maps left. If this ends up being a 4-1, we've got at least 2 maps left, but I don't think it will be. I do still feel Vega can come back here. You know, if Johnny Rico had fallen to Chubbs, you know, definitely no way. But now they've got 1 map, you know, finally they've got a bit of a break. Yes, they're playing against All Authority's player and map pick, but still, I mean, they've still got a couple strong players left, and of course one of them is Johnny Rico, who's out for them right now. So I still believe for them. I still do believe for them. As we are about to get into game number 4. It's merry-go-round here for ZVZ Minimaf, the next player from Against All Authority, going up against Vega Squadron's Johnny Rico. Guys, let's jump straight on into this game right now. So in the upper left-hand corner, the pink Zerg player from Vega Squadron held off that 7 gate, and you know, Chubbs made a pretty good game out of it following the failed all-in, but you know, Johnny Rico here from Vega Squadron made pretty much all of the right moves throughout the game. He sits here in the upper left-hand corner of the map. In the upper right-hand corner, the green Zerg player from Against All Authority. That's Minimaf. Again, coming into this Vega Squadron, they were expecting to be the you know, one of the teams just brushed through this lower side of the bracket. They expected to end up just to be straight into the finals. You know, a lot of teams thought that. You know, other teams on this side of the bracket, ESC Gaming and MaxFlow Play. So, you know, I really feel, I mean, Vega already beat MaxFlow this season. ESC were in the, were of course in the other group. But, you know, Vega with their lineup probably would be favoured against ESC right now. In the upper half of the bracket is where the real action is going to be. I mean, in the round of 8 we actually have Mind Sanity against Alien Invasion, and a lot of people believe in that whoever wins that series there will end up in the finals against Vega Squadron. That was pretty much the predictions here going into this. But again, AAA showing, don't discount us, man. Don't discount us at all, as Hatch first here for Minimaf. I'm going up against the pool into Hatch, so slight build order advantage here for our green Zerg player and our French Zerg player. Just to start this off, an extractor comes down and the gas finishes up on either side of the map at pretty much the same time in here. No real surprises there or anything of the sort. I mean, neither player's going to take too much of an advantage in terms of gas, and we are going to look to head into a bit of a longer ZVZ maybe, because neither player really going to be behind in by any stretch of the imagination. So alright, cool stuff. As this Overlord starts heading in towards this main base, Johnny Rico already been in the main base, so he's already been able to see gas down, etc, etc. This Overlord won't be able to get as much information from Minimaf, so Minimaf made very well, and he is actually producing 2 Zerglings here to head across the map and try and get a little bit of a scout off on his opponent, so that he can see, right, okay, you know, can I see how much gas you've taken? Can I see when you've taken that gas? Because I didn't get that first my Overlord scouting in the correct position straight away, so I need something else. And his answer, it will be these Zerglings. Johnny Rico stays in with free in gas, as does Minimaf here. So both players continuing with gas, so we probably will see a little bit of Ling Bane aggression. Bane and Nest probably be coming down here pretty soon. As these couple of Zerglings head up this ramp into the main, and they get all that information that they do need here. So nice little scan from Minimaf. He still keeps these Zerglings alive. He may jump onto a drone, and he will get a single drone kill here maybe. He's getting chased, he will get one. And still keeps these 2 Zerglings alive. Bane and Nest coming down now for Johnny Rico. This could be spotted here by Minimaf again. I mean, he should have a pretty good idea that this is going on. He comes down, he sees that, and there'll be no doubt in his mind that that is a Bane and Nest here. His own Bane and Nest now on the way as well. And again, Minimaf in a good spot. He throws down the Spine Crawler, looking to be the defender. Johnny Rico is still droning up pretty heavily himself, as we actually see a bunch of Lings coming out of Minimaf. So Minimap going to be a little bit behind in terms of workers for a little bit here, but he goes back into drones now, and he's actually the first player to start up an Evo chamber in the back of his mineral line. So he's saying, you know, I don't believe you're going to be aggressive at all in this game, and he's getting a few lings out of his own. In fact, starts up some more as well, and he might just try and be aggressive himself. And Johnny Rico is heading into this lair. A bit weird to be the aggressive player, of course, when you've got this spine crawler up. Some two lings do get into this main base here. They will get chased down by reinforcements, and they will go down. So, I mean, Johnny Rico knows there's a bunch of lings coming his way. He now starts up a Baneling, a spine crawler of his own. He's got a couple of Banelings out here. As these lings try to get that queen, but not quite able to. A couple of lings well controlled, chasing down this Baneling. They get one Baneling already, and a couple more lings already on that other Baneling. As that's trying to come forward here, does get a couple of kills, but Minimap starting to run over in the natural here. He will not maybe be able to get that queen. 1-2 lings on that would be able to take it down, and that should be what he's going for. There we go, he gets that queen just after he gets an inject. So a nice little attack here by Minimap. He comes out 3 workers ahead, he gets a queen kill, and that's of course very important. And now he comes into the main base and see lair is finished for his opponent here. Now Johnny Rico on 4 gases, lair finished. Spire has to be the play of the game. And it looks as though that is going to be what it is. That is going to be what we're seeing here. There's that Spire coming down. Now, Carapace upgrade from Minimap. Interesting way to start. We could see just a heavy ling style from him throughout. That Carapace will help him out, of course, a lot in kind of ling bane battles. Will make his ling so much better, and of course his Zerglings will also be able to survive one single Baneling hit. And he tries to get a faster third base here. He will lose the drone though, so nice denial by Johnny Rico. As that third base trying to get retaken once again. Lair about to finish up here. What is Minimap's choice of tech going to be? He's going to throw down a Spire himself. He's on 4 gases, so he definitely could do, but no, he throws down a Roach One. I think that's probably a better choice here. He's going to be behind if he tries to play, if he tries to play with, what's it called, with Mutants, I feel, in the Muta Wars. Yeah, comes over here. He's going to try and get this base, of course. Some Banelings still trying to come in. There's a lot of Zerglings here for Minimap. That first Baneling from Johnny Rico didn't really do too much. Some more Banelings now starting to morph in, but he's just going to run straight into the main base, look for some damage in this mineral line. He's going to get a fair few workers here. This queen may be in a little bit of trouble as well. Another Baneling coming forward once again. Could have really connected better there, I feel. And Johnny Rico is under attack here from Minimap as coming into the mineral line once again. His Baneling is now coming through to try and help out. That +1 Carapace has joined in, so take a few extra Baneling hits to clean this up. Johnny Rico turns it away, and we're still pretty much evens in this game. +1 missiles now on the way, and an infestation pit too. I mean, Minimap knows, I think, that Johnny Rico is playing a Mutalisk style here. And look at the aggression. He's just continuing to pile on to his opponent. He sneaks through into the main base, and he sees for sure now this Spire. I'm not sure if you've seen it before now. And he may end up losing these Zerglings, yes, but it's given him so much time. Johnny Rico's not being able to spend his money on the Mutalisks as early as he would have liked to. And because of this, he's given Minimap so much time to get Spore Crawlers up, to get an Infestation Pit up, and really limit the kind of use here of Mutalisks. These overlords need to be careful, of course. Once Mutas come out, they will just pretty much be dead meat. This overlord's still sitting over here as well. Johnny Rico just doesn't see that, but I'm sure the Mutas at some point will end up flying into there, be it by rally path or whatever. Lings coming down now, this bottom side of the map, and looking as though they'll strike into this third base here. Of course, that's going to be very important for Johnny Rico to keep alive, and he positions a Baneling over here already. Ling's coming in for a counterattack to Minimap's third base, and he isn't defended here at all, which is a little bit troublesome. He's actually going to lose his third base, so that's pretty substantial. Johnny Rico going to get that third base up a little bit faster here than his opponent. These Zerglings still just playing with these Banelings over towards the third, and that third base does die here for Minimap. So Johnny Rico, a good little break in this game. Now he heads in towards the main base. No defenses here, really even. He's going to lose a queen at least, as Minimap does run in towards the natural, just continuing to avoid these Banelings into the main base now, looking for whatever damage you can do. The Mutas are out though. I mean, eventually these Lings will die. How many workers can we get before then though? 5 workers killed already, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen. Banelings clean up though, and that's just 5 workers killed over here. No workers killed at all actually, as the first few roaches do begin to come out. Minimap though has really taken a big dip in terms of supply. Now he's got a lot of money banked up, and he is saving that. It would seem, it seems as though he's saving that for his infestors. Startup is +2 as well here, so I mean, the supply isn't everything in this game, but no third base is going to be an issue as well. He's going to lose another Overlord. Not going to get supply blocked, but adding on Queens too, he really needs to find a way to move out towards the third base right now, because if he doesn't, Johnny Rico will take an economy advantage, and then he will just swarm with too many roaches that Minimap just cannot keep up with. So This Queen hitting away on these mutas first. Oh, Fungal! Oh, these mutas, they're dead! They're dead. More Queens pop out, more Infestors pop out. These are some dead Mutalisks here. There we go. One more Fungal will kill these off completely, and in fact, it isn't even needed. Wasn't the biggest investment to Mutalisks ever, only 6 or 7 there. But still, that's 6 Mutalisks, and still, I mean, that pretty much makes that Muta tech not necessarily worthless, but now these Infestors are out, the Mutas aren't going to be able to do too much. As you can see, Johnny Rico's a little bit like, huh. And he starts up a couple more Mutas here. I mean, he still has damage to try and do with these, I feel. Third base now taken. I mean, they have allowed him to take this third base much faster and establish a 10-worker lead, but he's still behind in terms of them upgrades. Roach speed, is that finished for Johnny Rico? Yes, it is. So, I mean, he's still behind in terms of the attack upgrades, and that's huge. And of course, now he's kind of behind in terms of, you know, just kind of composition. Infestors with fungal growth are going to be invaluable in any kind of fight. You know, fungals with splash damage can mean so much. As Johnny Rico moves across here, may try and look to hit just before +2 finishes here for Minimap. He's doubling the Roach count, and that's pretty significant as there's a few Queens here. And will these Infestors alone be able to hold this off? Well, I'm not too sure. +2 is not ready just yet, and you can see him already. Minimap is kind of falling back towards his creep, and there's the first fungal here. These Roaches coming in though. Infested does start to fall, and Minimap running up his ramp. He doesn't quite have that +2 just yet, which will give him which is kind of the only advantage he has compared to Johnny Rico. And well, this third base, it may get denied once again here as Minimap comes forward. Infested Terrans come down, more Infested Terrans as well. That +2 is still not quite finished yet. Johnny Rico with the huge concave here. That +2 is 5 seconds away, but Johnny Rico just has so many Roaches. He's just going to swarm in. Minimap with just so much money in the bank and spent once again, and I feel like he played out a nice game here, but losing his third base was huge. And you know, he's kind of had a couple of moments because of not having a third base where he's not been able to spend all of his money, and not being able to spend all of his money as well, I'm saying it as though he's lost this game, and yet here we are. He's pushing Johnny Rico back. He's going to at least force the reinforcements to come in here. This third base looks will definitely die, but here's reinforcements, so maybe not. Single Infested Terran try and take down that one of these Mutalisks, and it will get that, but the other Muta will be able to take it down. I'm not sure. Minimap is actually going for a counterattack right now. He does have +2, and that is pretty substantial here, but again, this third base is so important, and he's going to lose it. There's no way he can keep this alive. So Mutalisk, this hero Mutalisk, takes it down. At the same time, Minimap just positioning again. He's got that upgrade advantage, but not really the Roach numbers. As Johnny Rico with a 10 Roach lead. Minimap going to fall back, try and get the better engagement here initially. He's sending a few Roaches down and looking to maybe get a bit of damage on this third base, something he really needs right now. Still falling all the way back home. More Infestors on the way again. A lot of money in the bank. He's actually supply blocked here, which is huge. And, well, he doesn't have any lava either. I mean, he's just so lava starved. Again, it's because he doesn't have a third base to really give him enough production here. 3, maybe 4, 5 in total workers go down. But these Roaches get cleaned up pretty quickly here. Johnny Rico just continuing to sit outside of the natural. And, well, this really, I guess Minimap never really had a huge advantage in this game, but I did feel like he was going to be I did feel like he was getting the better opening. I felt like he was stronger. Being too aggressive towards his opponent's third base when Johnny Rico had defense, and Johnny Rico was attacking up here was the big difference, I feel. Again, if he had that extra lava from a third base, things could have been so different. He's investing in so many Infestors now. He's going to lose his upgrade advantage. That +1 Carapace will be the only advantage he has in upgrades, but that's not really any significant. Excuse me, that's not really significant at all. Not compared to missiles. Oh, the Infestors, they don't get the fungals off they need. I mean, that's a huge fungal. But they're starting to get targeted down already here. And I mean, even just trading like this with Johnny Rico is great. Even if he loses all of this, he's the player with the economy. He's the player who can remax. And he's the player who will go for another fight soon afterwards. And I mean, he's got the concave here. It looks as though it doesn't even matter. He's just going to win right now. The Infestors are dead. Minimap is dead against all authority. They had a 2-0 lead, but now it's going to be 2-2. Vega Squadron have evened up this series. And all of that hard work at the start of this best of 7 that Chubbs did for his team has now been evened out here. Johnny Rico, 2 games in a row and against all authority, all of a sudden, once again, on the ropes here, looking... I say on the ropes, but I don't really mean. I mean, it's even in this series, but I mean the reality is Vega Squadron are the stronger team overall. They're the favourites here, and when you go evens with them, you've got to give Vega Squadron the slight hand. again, it will still be against All Authorities map pick. It will be their player pick as well. So we'll see which of these, who they will pick. I think, again, they're very strong on Zergs. I don't think they'd send out a Terran. It's going to be Spotfire on Waystation. We're going to host this up. And we're going to take a quick commercial break while doing so. Guys, if you're hitting the follow button, thank you very much. A few of you guys have been doing that during that last game. So thank you. If you do enjoy the stream, hit the follow. You can see when we go live with all of the SC2Improve events, etc, etc. So yeah, thank you guys. We'll be back here in a few moments time for game number 5. This series is really starting to get a little bit tense. Well, what a series we have on our hands, guys. It's 2-2 right now. It's best of 7. It's single elimination. And we're heading into Waystation for map number 5. Johnny Rico against Spotfire. Another ZVZ here, as this map does load on up. Again, let's see what spawns these guys get. We'll be going in game in just a couple of moments here, guys. As it's going to be actually the long spawns, so let me just set up the scoreboard and bring us in game. I'm Wardy, this is the SC2Improve Team League. If you don't know much about me or SC2Improve, I highly advise you go check out SC2Improve.net. We run a bunch of tournaments. The SC2Improve Summer League is live right now. Already qualified for that is Liquid Bunny, Violet, Cascade Cass, and Spectres Arthur. Qualifier 3 will be on Tuesday from 7 PM CST, Central European Standard Time, so do go check that out. Do go sign up. You can find the signups on Excello. You can find the signups on excello.net or via our website if you want to take part. It's open to everybody, so do. Some lower league tournaments as well, run by Clan SC2Improve every Sunday, bronze to diamond. So do check that out as well. Right now, though, this is our SC2Improve Team League, the first match of our playoffs for Season 2. This is the round of 8 game between Johnny, Rico, and Spotfire. And starting off in the bottom right-hand corner will be the pink Zerg player from Vega Squadron. 2 wins in a row right now. Can he make it 3? It's Johnny Rico. In the upper left, the red Zerg player from Against All Authority. It's going to be Spotfire. Alright, I mean, still, you can see Vega Squadron, they're taking this seriously now. This is their top lineup, right? They're not using any of their academy players, who are very good as well. They're not using any of their academy players. They are putting out top player after top player after top player. You know, we saw Dana, we saw Elfie, now we see Johnny Rico, and I just spied in the chat channel before this game, live Zerg waiting there just in case Johnny Rico does lose. So Vega Squadron are taking this very seriously here. They do not want to fall in the playoffs. A shaky start, but they're pulling it back right now. Johnny Rico really doing work for them here, as we have completely different build orders. Gas first. No, this wasn't gas first, was it? No. Pool into gas. Followed against hatchery first, into pool, into gas for Johnny Rico. So, looks as though Spotfire wants to be aggressive here in this game. Wow, you know, I'd love this so much if this went to Game 7. Like, you know, I mean, everyone loves it when it goes to Game 7, when it gets close. Unless, you know, if you're not biased towards a certain team, it's always great to see 7 games. But out of all the series in our round of 8, I mean, this is the one where I really expected a stomping, because Vega Squadron were just untouchable. Like, again, in the upper side of the bracket, we have AT gaming against Gravity, but Gravity they've held they've always held their stance against strong teams in the season. So you know, I don't really expect that. You know, in AT gaming they've looked good, but they've looked a bit shaky at times as well. So you know, there's that kind of point where you think, well, you know, not really expecting Gravity to get completely stomped. You know, Mind Sandy against Alien Invasion, expecting that to be a fantastic series. And of course, and our other match as well is Max Flow against ESC. Again, expect a good fight from both teams. But this series, I mean, AAA are good, but Vega Squadron, with the way they played, just looked unbeatable until now. And, well, AAA putting in a good effort here to fight this back. Good opening here by Spotfire, deflecting that Overlord here initially. As Bane Nest does come down. A couple of Zerglings heading across the map. A couple of lag spikes here. Because this is a lot of Zerglings coming out here for Spotfire. So we'll be spotted by Johnny Rico. He's got his couple of Zerglings now. They will be caught out by this Zergling speed. Johnny Rico with Zergling speed. Zergling's on the way of his own. Zergling speed about to kick in for him here. He's got a Spine Caller starting up in his mineral line too. Can Spotfire make this work? He did open with the more aggressive opening. He's 5 workers behind, so he needs a couple of worker kills here. Although that being said, he's kind of catching up now. Of course, Johnny Rico is going to launch a counterattack here very soon as well. One worker does go down, and then he gets out of there. Baden Nest finished up for Spotfire. Not quite there for Johnny Rico. Surround on these initial Zerglings. So a nice little trade there by Spotfire to begin this. But both players back into droning now. You can see Johnny Rico. He's made the counterattacklings. He's going to be safe. So immediately he goes back into drones and starts getting his working count up. Because he knows now Spotfire has to make lings. Otherwise he'll die. So, you know, he's just taking advantage of that. So, you know, it's kind of the standard back and forth of this game. Spotfire looking to come in with this initial couple of Banelings. Oh, Johnny Rico gets close. We're not quite there. And surround. One of these Banelings goes down. The other one actually just cancelled straight up. These Lings do jump into the main base. They will go for the Queen here. And Johnny Rico is overwhelming in this main base. Will he be able to get the Queen or not? It's going to be close. It does get it. So that's, again, pretty huge. And injects are always going to be important. As this game is really lag spiky right now. And there's a Roadhog coming down from Spotfire. Spotted though by Johnny Rico, and that's huge as well. I mean, Spotfire doesn't look as though he wants to go into any kind of further tech here. Johnny Rico with the lair on the way. He's on free, going up to free gases. Looks again as though it could be a Spire play from him. But Spotfire looking as though he just wants to go straight into Roaches here. But he does have it on Evo Chamber, so not looking as though he's actually going to commit as heavily as I thought he was. I thought he might just go try and fall Roach Bane all in. But it looks as though that will not be the case as these Lings try and find an entrance, but are not quite able to. A couple more Banelings continue to morph in here from Johnny Rico. 10 Roaches on the way. I mean, this still could be an attack. I mean, there's a +1 start, but then he cancels it. What's he planning for here? What's Spotfire wanting to do? I think he does want to go for a big attack. I mean, it would make sense to go for a big attack here as, you know, that's the kind of position he's setting himself up for. He's making a few more Lings now. He's still got money to make more Roaches if he wants them. Just kind of sitting at the front, not using this Evo Chamber. More Lings coming in. I mean, this has to just be a Roach Bane bust through the middle. And Johnny Rico spots these initial Roaches. He has to add Spine Crawlers right now. And he does begin to do this here. And these Lings aren't able to find a counter-attack path through this direction. And these Lings coming in. We get a couple of surround. I mean, these Lings are important for Spotfire as well. Because he wants to make Banelings with these. He wants to make Banelings. And commit and just attack. He's got so much money in the bank. If only he could spend all of that, that would be great. Johnny Rico with 5 spines. He knows he's kind of in a bit of trouble here. And I mean, if he holds on, of course, he's in such a good position. He has 6 spines in total. He's got a worker lead. He's heading into a Spire. You know, all he has to do is survive right now. And there's the Banelings starting to come in here. The Roach is backing this up as well. Spotfire still has a lot of money, which he just cannot spend right now. He's just lava starved. As these Roaches start to come in here. Just starting to pick away at whatever Spine Crawlers they can. Some Lings starting to come forward. Here come the Banelings. And how are they going to explode? This is going to be the big crucial part of this whole game right now. As the Banelings come in, and the Spine Crawlers are crashing down. 5 Mutalisks on the way. Banelings connect in the mineral lines here. And of course, they're pretty important too. There's not too many Roaches left over here, but a lot of Lings coming in. It's going to take a lot of work from Johnny Rico's Mutas to completely clean all of this up. The Spine Crawlers are dead. So many drones on low HP. A lot of these are going to go down, if not all of them. The Mutas are continuing to work away here, but the drones are dead in the natural. That means the main base is now open for attack. Johnny Rico might fall, and we might see Spotfire take against all authority to match point in this best of 7 single elimination, guys. It's going to be match point here for against all authority against Vega Squadron, the favourites. Gratz is called. Spotfire takes us to 3-2. Wow, 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 wow. We've got a series more than just on our hands. We have a series right in our faces. 3-2 right now. Vega Squadron are on their last player here in this best of 7 all kill. It has to be Live Zerg. It has to be Live Zerg coming out next from Vega Squadron. But AAA have 2 opportunities. Spotfire, who just took down Johnny Rico. And after Spotfire, who knows who they will send out to maybe contest Live Zerg. Guys, we're going to go once again into a quick commercial break. While we're doing that, do check out our website, SC2Improve.net. And if you're enjoying the show, hit the follow button on Twitch. Or if you want to know more about when we do go live or when we've got tournaments to play, and the best place to actually follow us is Twitter at SC2_Improve. Guys, we're going into game number 6. Straight after this commercial break, Vega Squadron are in trouble because against all authority or on match point. We'll see who the players are after this break. Guys, don't go too far because this is not a series you want to be missing right now. This is starting to get really, 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 really. This is where it really, really, really does get serious. It's match point for against all authority. I'm going to say that they're underdogs, and they are killing it right now. Chubbs, he did that early work. He took down Dana. He took down Dana. He took down Elfie. And from there, he lost to what? Yeah. And from there he lost to Johnny Rico, who went on a bit of a kill streak himself, but then ended there by Spotfire. And now we will go into game number 6. Vega Squadron's Live Zerg looks to hold on for his life, basically, for his team's life. They haven't lost a match all season. They're 11-0 in groups. They come into this in first place from Group B. And yet here they are in the first round of the playoffs. Once again in SC2Improve Team League Season 1, they lost in the first round of the playoffs after coming second in their group. Now it looks as though they're maybe even about to repeat that performance as Live Zerg can't enter this lobby. Okay, so I'll just rehost here quickly. And get our players invited once again here. So just a quick issue of the lobby here, guys, but we should be able to get into this game pretty quickly. Just sending out invites to our casters, etc, etc, and we'll get into this as soon as we can. Just waiting for Live Zerg to relog here once again, and yeah. It would be a pretty big upset if AAA wins this. Yes, it would be Crowtail. It really, really would be, actually. And what else is going on in the chat? Well played from Pelelinni. Dana Duracell, GG as well. So how is everyone in the chat doing? Who are you guys supporting here as we head into what may be our last game? So we're just waiting for invites. So we just got a bit of an issue with the lobby still right now. So hopefully here in a moment we get Live Zerg into our lobby. We're still waiting for our Russian caster as well. As Live Zerg logs once again here. We finally get everyone in, I think, when he relogs this time around. Hopefully. It's just waiting for him to log in once again, and we should be underway with this game 6 of this best 7 all kill against all authority. Currently leading 3 games to 2, looking for what could be the biggest upset of the playoffs. At least in the round of 8. And I mean, we're only in the first game, but this probably would be the biggest upset. As finally we get invite Live Zerg, and we finally get into this game, and we're finally going to be ready to go on Habitation Station. Game 6 between Spotfire and Live Zerg. We're finally starting up this lobby, guys. We're getting in game right now. Can Spotfire pull off another victory against a top European Zerg player, or is he going to run into some troubles and let Live Zerg take Vega Squadron into a game 7, keep their hopes alive, take them into an ace match? Let's find out right now. We're going in game. Habitation Station is our map. And we're loading up on this right now. So 2-3 right now. Currently leading for Against All Authority, Spotfire, the Blue Zerg player. 1 win here, and he takes them into the semi-finals. You know, a victory which they basically... I don't think, you know, I mean, I think they said, in their interview, they said something along the lines of, we don't expect to win. We can beat anybody, but we can lose to anybody as well. And I mean, if you're going to lose to anyone, Vega Squadron is a pretty good team to lose to. Again, unbeaten in that group stage, which isn't easy. They took down Alien Invasion, Max Flow Play, Gravity, who showed strong games, Cascade as well. They really did look a little bit untouchable. In the upper right hand corner, the purple Zerg player from Vega Squadron. It's Live Zerg, their last hope here. Guys, if you're cheering for a certain team, especially Vega Squadron, now is the time to do it in the chat. Let us know who you're supporting here today, because otherwise it may be your last chance if Spotfire can close this series out. Good luck, have fun. Called the Overlord's Kiss in the middle of the map. As this game does begin. No early pools. Spotfire a little bit behind on drones. That's because he went for a extractor trick there. It does catch up right now. And we're just waiting right now for something to really start to happen. It's going to be Live Zerg with the hatchery first, coming down the low ground. Pool first from Spotfire here. So last game he went pool and gas, and he did go aggressive from that position. And again, Vega Squadron's Johnny Rico, he went hatch first into pool into gas. So I mean, it looks as though for now similar openings, but it looks as though it's not going to be a gas from Spotfire this time. He's going to just come down here, take his hatchery, and he will come off with a slight build order loss, but nothing too major, of course. As this drone does just patrol. And there is the hatchery coming down here. So Spotfire opening up a little bit safer than his opponent, so Live Zerg gets away with this little bit of a risk here. On Habitation Station now, Habitation Station quite often results in kind of a situation where players can't attack into each other because the main attack path is up here. And of course, it's pretty much choky all the way along, so it's very hard to really fight into someone unless you have a significant advantage from earlier in the game. Sometimes we do see players trying to catch opponents out of position by avoiding the watchtower coming down the south with their whole army, but Overlord Spread generally does a pretty good job of spotting that and allowing, the other player to get into a concave to defend. So I always feel like one of the main features of this map in ZVZ is A, gold bases, if one of these guys takes it early, and B, you know, really the roach run bys come into on this map more than any other map just because it's so hard to take a straight up engagement. So you really do have to force more than any other map your opponent to come out of position to really then strike his other bases. And I mean, we saw Carnage against who did you cast? Carnage against who did they play the other day? Was it Carnage against ESC? No, it was Carnage against Missing in Action. No, who did Carnage play in the last series of the Carnage against Punchline? Namshaw was up against Firecake, and he was just roach attacking. He was going for these small roach attacks everywhere, and they were really doing the job. They were pulling Firecake out of position. Unfortunately, he only just lost because Firecake basically said, right, one big attack, let's try and win this, and he only just did. It was a very close game, but it really showcased that, you know, Firecake had no real opportunity, and it was Namshaw with all of the opportunities until that one big final attack from when he just sent maybe a few too many roaches out and harassing. Let's talk a little bit about this game. We've been seeing Gasless play so far from Live Zerg until just now, so it's going to probably be a fast fed base and a roach opening out of him. Fast fed base from Spotfire, and of course that's a great way to play against Gasless. Because there's no Zerglian speed, it's going to be very hard for Live Zerg to come over here and deny this fed base. So this fed base has become a staple of this playing against Gasless play. Just getting this down nice and quickly and taking a bit of an advantage through that. Now, Roach Warren on the way already here from Live Zerg. The one thing which he will look to do with this Gasless play, of course, is power straight into Roaches and just get ahead in terms of economy. Spotfire right now just splitting up, seeing if the third base is taken for his opponent here. As there's an Evo Chamber coming down as well for Live Zerg. Spine Call out the front too. Spotfire doing what I think is the smart thing though, making just a handful of lings to maybe try and deny a third base which comes up for a little while. But other than that, he's not going to commit too much, I don't think. He's just going to head straight into his own roach run. And, you know, he's not necessarily in a bad position here. He's going to be a bit behind on his lair, a bit behind on an Evo Chamber. But he will have speed, and he will have Zerglings, which will help him delay that third base. And his own third base is about to finish, so again, that is a big factor in this. And wow, is that a full wall? I mean, that must just be a tiny gap here for Livezerg. As he starts up the second Evo Chamber again, I mean, he saw these few Zerglings. That has to be a complete wall off, right? That's just so these Zerglings can't get in at all, but I mean, just kind of wasting resources here, Spotify, just by having these few lings out anyway. And you can see their lives does just throw down the cancel. His first few roaches now out, and that is exactly what he was just buying a little bit of time for there. As these lings run up, they see the few roaches, and there's a second Evo Chamber coming down as well here. This Overlord trying to get in, trying to scout a little bit. I think he may have seen lack of a second gas here, but that doesn't mean too much because, of course, gases can be taken all over the place. And he didn't see the lair moving in either, so I mean, Livezerg's going to have a slightly faster cavalry constitution and roach speed, but of course, I mean, Spardfire, with these Zerglings, he can buy some time with counterattacks, but also, most importantly, I feel, is he can probably just, as this drone gets turned away for a couple of moments here, he can probably just, in general, sit on his own creep and just play defensively. He doesn't really need to be the player pressuring right now, because he's 7 workers ahead. You know, he is ahead in terms of this third base as well. And here we go, these lings counterattacking. As soon as this third base comes down, boom, that's a dead drone as well. And this third base is getting denied right here. And Livezerg, again, already just struggling to really break out of his base. He will have +1 carapace, where his opponent does not have +1 carapace, but that's pretty much it. The upgrade timing, in fact, is actually ahead for Spotfire, so despite the later Evo Chamber, he jumps on this drone once again. Is he going to get it? He might actually. Oh, just doesn't get it. 1 HP that drone escapes with. And wow, now, oh my god, he's going to die surely to this other Zergling. This Zergling up here, is he going to be able to get it? Yes! Oh no! Livezerg tries to take that over base, but I mean, I think he needs to take the gold base at this point. He needs to come back in some way. But that Zergling just picks off that drone, and that denies this base coming up for even longer here. Still, no, there it is. That drone finally going to get over here, put down a hatchery. But so much time just being bored. +1 about to finish up for Spardfire. He's now 16 workers ahead. Again, he doesn't have that +1 carapace, but that's a very minor factor here, as he has a ton of roaches pouring out. And he might just go for an attack soon. I mean, why not? Let's see if he starts at +2 or not. Again, he doesn't want to leave that hanging for too long. As we see already Livezerg just getting set up in a defensive posture with this spine crawler too. It's so hard to fight into this again for Spotfire, but again, and it's going to be hard to really hit this base with roach run bys. So, you know, I think Spotfire's better options may just be to take fast 4th base against this, take his own gold base, get ready to go, and you know, just try and attack around. He might have an opportunity to leap in towards the natural if he can get in this position here unspotted, which he's done so far. I mean, if he came up here and then round, he might be okay. He's actually going to be able to maybe get this spine crawl. Here comes Livezerg leaping forward here. Again, he does have that +1 carapace advantage, but that's about it. Roach numbers are okay. They're fairly even. So really, we do not want to see Spotfire fighting here at all. He's got such a good economy at home. He's going to get leaps and bounds ahead in terms of roach numbers as the game goes on. And Vega Squadron, they're down here. They're down a map, and it's match point for against all authority. And a win for Spotfire knocks Vega out of these playoffs. That would be a huge upset here if that was to happen. These roaches coming across the map and looking to just come straight in. Once again, looking for a fight. +2 again, similar time, a few seconds advantage here for Spotfire. Again, just looking to pick off a couple of creepers. Gets the spine crawler too, which is annoying because it either forces another drone to come down, or it really kind of takes away the defensive you know, advantage here a little bit. There's still that concave, of course, set up already, and it will be Spotfire having to come through a little bit of a choke point if he wants to attack forward. More roaches continue to come out. Here's this roach run by starting up, as we would expect to happen. He's going to get a few of these roaches in towards the natural. A lot of roaches already picked off, sent off by Livezerg to come and chase after these, but Spotfire, he's just going to leave on this opportunity to come forward. The concave doesn't really matter here because all of these roaches of Spotfire are attacking anyway. He's going to disengage. I think the smarter option, he doesn't quite have enough here just yet. Picks off a couple more roaches on the way out, and again he has to back off. Doesn't quite have that concave just there. +2 is about to kick in, and now might be the time for him to turn around and just go for it. But again, that's going to be a very tight time. He's got about 10 seconds of advantage here, as this Overseer doesn't have the energy for contaminate. He's going to come forward. He's got +2 right now, but he doesn't take that advantage. Again, there's still +1 carapace, +2 carapace soon. For Livezerg, that's still going to be an opportunity. He can try and take Spotfire, just position, goes into an infestation pit to try and continue on right now. And a 4th hatchery taken. Still not the gold base. I don't really understand not taking the gold base. I mean, you may as well is the real point, because he's holding the position outside of his opponent's base. You know, he is the in the better spot here. Some roaches are going to come in actually from all angles. He's just going to go for this fight, in fact, and he's not in the better position right now. He's going to come in +2 carapace, going to finish up during this fight for Livezerg, and he is definitely going to be winning this. He has a much better concave to the north. He has outnumbering a huge number of roaches to the south. And Spotfire needs to back on out of this. He needs to just fall back home and get some production going. He's got, I mean, why would you fight then? You know, it doesn't really make sense. Your opponent is, you know, just sitting there in a better defensive position. You're taking that opportunity to take a 4th base. You're taking that opportunity to tech into infestors right now. He's taking advantages, but he's not waiting for them to really become significant in the game. 4th base is on the way for Livezerg. That could have been picked off with them few roaches, but he decided not to actually look at this. A bunch more roaches actually popping out for Livezerg here. Pathogen Glands is about to finish up. Spotfire is not producing anything, which may be his downfall, because again right now he sees this attack on his front door. Now 20 roaches start up, but are they too late? Has he waited a bit too long here? He's got the concave. Will this help him out? It's going to be kind of close as Livezerg just kind of leaps on forward. Spotfire, has he been a bit too greedy here with this infestation pit? 24 roaches on the way. He needs these roaches right now. He will be able to come in from a couple different angles. Already pulling drones though, and he is losing a lot of roaches down to the south already. Roaches coming in from the north. Is it going to be here in time? I don't think it is, and he's just being that little bit overzealous in this game, and it's actually just going to cost him here, and that is such a huge disappointment here for Spotfire. He is in a fantastic position, but he's just really kind of thrown his advantages away, just being a bit too over-aggressive, a bit too over-eager when he should have just been sitting back. He was a bit too overconfident as well, thinking I could just wait for investors, when really no, he needed to make roaches immediately as he saw these units coming across. He might still hold on here, but I mean the supplies are going to tell the tale of this. He's just not traded efficiently enough, and you can see that. Look at them resources lost. Wow, Livezerg just with the much better fights throughout the game, which was fine for Spotfire. He had a huge economy advantage for a lot of that, but in the end, I mean, again, he didn't use that economy. He had the opportunity to make a lot of roaches, to outnumber his opponent as he came across the map, and then after a fight, head into, you know, whatever he may have fancied heading into, but heading into them infestors, but he just didn't really give himself the time. It's 3-3 right now. We're tied up, guys. We're heading into an ace match at game number 7. One of these teams goes home right now. Goes home, falls out the tournament, whatever you want to say. It's the round of 8. Neither, I mean, Vega don't want to lose. They know they should be the team who move on to the finals. And against all authority, they don't want to lose because they've made such a good series out of this so far. It'd be a shame to lose right now, of course, when they're so close to the semi-finals. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it's going to be game number 7 of this best of 7. It's not groups anymore. It's single elimination. Everything matters. It all comes down to this ace match, this one map right now on Altazim Stronghold. We'll be back here in 3 minutes time with that game. Down to this for these two teams. They've played 11 weeks of group stages to make it this far, and now it could all be over with this one map, as we have Against All Authority and Vega Squadron tied up 3-3. And it comes down to this ace match between DNS and Livezerg. We're going to be getting into this game right now. And let's see who is going to be able to pull out the victory here. It's a ZVP. It's a ZVP indeed. Shout out to anyone hitting that follow button on Twitch. Thank you for following us. Wicked Fry, Razorness, Bonifats, oh I can't say that one, Bonifatius, Vantutu and TNTSC, thank you guys, glad you're enjoying the show. And I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to get into this game. Let's introduce our players in the upper right hand corner. Against All Authorities, final hope is another Protoss player, it's DNS. I don't know what that beep was, it didn't sound good. In the upper left hand corner, the purple Zerg player, Hion Al-Lazim. Vega Squadron's Livezerg. What a great way to start the playoffs here between these two teams. 3-3 and ace matches, always what we want here as spectators. And that is what we're getting right now. 2 hours ago it was 0-0. We saw Chubb start out against Donna. Took them first 2 maps. Took down Donna, took down Elfie. You know, it looked good for AAA then, but Johnny Rico, he took down Chubbs, and then he took down himself, Minimath as well, so it was all tied up. But of course it was Sparkfire who took them once again into the lead, beating Johnny Rico, unfortunately falling to LiveZerg in that last game to bring us now into this ace match here between these two players. Free hatch before pool, going to be the call of the day from LiveZerg. Big, greedy players to start up here. Interestingly enough, DNS didn't actually open Nexus first. He opened with a gateway into Nexus, into double gas, into a late cyber core. So, interesting. He's not being that greedy himself. So, I mean, LiveZerg's in a good spot here to begin with. You know, he's got a good build order. He won't really be punished for this, I assume. Unless DNS goes for something crazy. Unless he really spots this. I mean, he's not actually scouting just yet. So, he has no idea that this is happening. So. Who are you guys cheering for in the chat? Come on, let's hear it. This really is your final chance to cheer if you're supporting either of these teams. I mean, one of them loses right here and they are out of the tournament. The other advances to the semi-finals. They play the winner of Max Flow Player and ESC Icy Box. LiveZerg still doesn't know where his opponent is. DNS still doesn't know where his opponent is. Has to be a Stargate, right? Stargate, find where your opponent is. I guess not, actually. I guess it could just be a Forge. Start the upgrades, fast third base. Also makes sense. He's actually going to be boosting his mothership core out to the front. I guess he's maybe trying to wait for an Overlord to fly in so he can see where his opponent's coming from, but still can't really tell too much just yet. Poorly informed, yes, all of these games are live and happening right now. We do not stream from replays unless absolutely necessary. It is going to be a Stargate, I think almost a necessity here, just to be able to find his opponent. I doubt it would be an Oracle either. He does actually see, okay, he sees this Overlord. Now, seeing the Overlord can make him, if he did spot that, it means he can go for an Oracle if he wants to, because it will hit the opponent's base in plenty of time. Whereas with Phoenix, you know, your first Phoenix is going to be flying around trying to spot your opponent. But if you know that your opponent's here, the Oracle can definitely work out. So let's see what he goes for. It's right across the map. I feel like it's going to be the Oracle, unless Phoenix just, okay, it's going to be a Phoenix to pick off this Overlord then. It would seem. What's it going to be? Prove me right or wrong, it is going to be a Phoenix just pick off this Overlord. Initial Zergling running up the ramp here doesn't achieve too much. Apparently we like going back to this pylon. Another Zergling just chilling off to the side right now. LiveZerg has now spotted, of course, this Stargate, so he can start droning up pretty much as he would like. And he knows, again, there's not going to be much coming towards him that can really kill him off, so he's just going to keep on the drone count here for as long as he can. And he's going to pick up this first Overlord. It's going to die, and he comes in to try and get any information it can, but not really too much to be seen apart from his robotics facility, which is a little bit too far away. Phoenix is able to pick this off. We'll probably fly around the map to try and pick off some other Overlords. Should know that the second Overlord from his opponent probably came down in this direction, so... A couple of evolution chambers coming in. So LiveZerg's going to play double melee upgrade style, which means well, you know, it means he's going to play with a lot of lings to begin with. A good map for it, of course. It's very open. It's very easy to come in and you know, come in from multiple angles. It's Phoenix. Spotting around, seeing if we can find anything. The other Phoenix coming to join up with it right now as well. And we'll find a drone transferring down from the main to the third. We'll come in towards this third base as well, and we'll get deflected by Queens, but not before a couple of drone kills. May get one more on this gas, doesn't quite. And these Phoenixes back off for now. Bane and Nest on the way. Ooh, interesting. Really interesting. We see Robobay on the way for DNS here. As he's moving out, he should be able to take a third base right now. So straight into Colossus from DNS. We're going to see Banelings coming out of LiveZerg and Baneling Zergling. I mean, again, the melee upgrades make sense. The melee upgrades make sense. Mass Zergling makes sense for a while, heading to Ultras, etc, etc. Baneling Nest, definitely not quite as standard, so these Phoenix coming in here again. A couple more kills on these workers. LiveZerg up at 61 workers right now. He's lost 5 throughout the game. Not too many. He's actually maybe going to lose an Overlord here, which would probably be the biggest pickup so far, and he gets supply block from that as well. Only just started now to your Overlord, so a little bit annoying. A huge amount of Zerglings heading across the map though. We can DNS hold this off. I mean, he's rolling in a cannon right now. He's got force fields. It's actually going to be a huge Balin burst. Wow, well, I definitely didn't expect it to be a Balin burst of all things. A Void Ray is out here. He doesn't know that this attack's coming in. He's going to have force fields. Is it going to be enough? His first Colossus on the way. And we might see the first few force fields just baited here from these Zerglings. And we are. Balins are going to come in from behind DNS. He needs to hit the force field. He does, just keeps the rest of these sentries alive for now. And here comes the Colossus as well. More force fields coming down. These Balins are starting to wither, but so are the sentries. There's no force fields remaining. But the Colossus is going to take care of the rest of these Balins. The last couple of Zealots clean this up. And DNS holds for now. Live Zerg back at home has a lot of money to spend. And he spends that all at once because going into his 2-2 now, added on Infestation Pit. These Phoenixes still alive over here. A lot of Zerglings left over, but can they really come in and fight this Colossus? I don't think so. He can go up to the high ground. He won't find much damage here at all. Fighting against an Overlord right now, trying to just waste the transfuses on the Queens. I mean, the more transfuses he can waste, I mean, it's a long way off, but the less transfuses there'll be for Ultras. Not sure if there's really going to be that, if that'll really take, transfuses wasted and that will really come into matter there. Picking off Queens would be nice, but he just doesn't quite have enough Phoenixes here to deal with 3 Queens. And these Zerglings right now just standing strong and looking as though they may launch a counterattack at any point, although they're not really that well hidden, so the army would probably walk straight into them. Phoenix continue to fly around here, going to come now southwards. And chill out between this main and natural. Still just flying around. Keeping these alive is important, not just for scouting, but I mean just picking off anything throughout the game. The longer these stay alive, the more drones they get throughout the game, the more overlords they pick off, etc, etc. As DNS has a fully minded third base right now. I mean, his composition is great. I mean, haven't seen so many. I mean, he saw the Ling Bane initially here. He should know that there's 1-1 on these Lings, so he should know it's double Ling upgrades. And he should have seen the Hive as well, right? He has seen the Hive, so might even be time in a moment to start actually going into Immortal production to deal with the what's more than likely going to be the eventual Ultralist cavern here, and the eventual Ultralists. 26 Banelings though. Wow. So I mean, he's really just continuing to rely on Banelings here. We see a lot of units moving out here as DNS is looking to just hit a pre-hive timing. I mean, there's a huge number of Banelings. Are there going to be enough free plots? I will rip, of course, a lot of this to shreds. There's only a handful of force fields, and that does scare me. As we're going to see these units starting to collapse inwards, and recall with the sentries! Ooh! What went down there? He gets out. A few of the sentries, a few of the zealots. The Colossus stay alive, though, and that's one of the most important parts about this. The Colossi staying alive. Immortal production does now start. Templar Archives as well. Storm's going to be critical if he sticks with this kind of heavy Ling Bane army. Storm could really rip this to shreds very quickly. Second Robo as well wants to get that Immortal count up, or even more Colossi. I mean, either or is going to be a great advantage to him in this game. Overlord and a Zergling sitting over here at this 4th base. These units still just kind of moving back and forth, thinking about where they want to go. And I mean, for DNS, I think the best opportunity is just to defend right now. Phoenix picking off a fair few workers over at this 4th base. A couple more coming over here, also getting picked off. So this is nice. A Spire on the way as well for Live Zerg here. So he's got possibilities with this. He could go for a Mutatech switch, which he doesn't really have the gas for just yet, because that 4th base hasn't really been mined as soon as he maybe would have liked it to, because of what he's, and because of as well all of these Banelings he's invested into early on. He's taking a lot of damage here from these Phoenix. 17 workers killed purely from Phoenixes. These are some worthwhile Phoenixes throughout this game. Coming in once again. These Phoenix starting to get low on HP, but they can just wait and regen them shields for now. I think DNS should maybe just move out and take a 4th. I mean, there's nothing really stopping him. He's got Pylon in the middle of the map. I guess he doesn't really have vision over here to see. He's got a single observer, and it's actually with his army, so... a couple of his observers may be nice, but he's kind of feeling very threatened about the eventual Ultras here. Which are on the way, so he's using all of his time, all of his robo time here on Immortals. Storm on the way as well will help against them Banelings. This pylon in the middle of the map is found as Zerglings continue to just move around, just scouting about, using these cheap units to just see what's up, try and find anything on the map. Is also his grade, takes down this pylon over here, and that means this 4th base becomes a little bit safer. Phoenix still alive here. Seen the Ultras as well. We've got one more work kill there. 18 in total is now up. This overall still blocking here, so I mean DNS is thinking of taking that 4th base, which isn't quite able to right now. And he will begin to expand over here. This is going to turn into quite the macro fest here as this game continues on. And both players max out, but who will be the player looking to fight? Well, 3-3 will finish for our Zerg player soon, plus 3 for our Protoss player as well. What's over here? Some Zerglings counterattacking towards this, what was going to be a 4th base for DNS, but DNS is just moving forward anyway. I guess he doesn't really want to go too far into the creep. Excuse that observing just there. I guess he doesn't want to go too far onto the creep right now as these Zerglings continue to just clean up Zealots over here. But he's going to kind of tiptoe on the edge, is what I would always say about this kind of play. You know, he's still on the creep. So that's scary. He has got Storm, he has got some Templars. He's got these Phoenix at the front, he's got Hallucination here. He sees a bunch of Corruptors. Now, I mean, that can only really essentially mean eventual Broodlords. Surely. I mean, if these Broodlords finish, he cannot realistically take this fight. Ling, Bane, Ultra Broodlord. How often do you see this composition? Well, almost never. Zald's trying to clear up this 4th base once again here, but there's just not enough. And 3-3 Lings rip through them with no armor upgrades on them. On the Zealots, they just fall so quickly. And I don't know why we're having so many lag spikes here today. It's not really usual. As we look as though we're going to have a big engagement coming down. There's a time of huge storms coming down. They'll clean out a lot of these Balins before they really get anywhere. Another storm as well. Balins do start to come forward. They do begin to connect here. Colossus being pulled backwards. And, the Ultra is going to start going down here. There's a few mortals left over. DNS is not going to be able to recoil. He doesn't have a mothership core at all here. Queens and Broodlords are going to end up finishing this off. Well, he's got transfusions, but he's not transfusing just yet. 3 Voiders left over here. DNS taking some heavy hits, but he's got a decent bank to fall back on. But the lack of a 4th base will hurt him for a little while. As we see continue to come across the map here, these Phoenix. And these Void Rays too. Finally going to be able to clean up and get ready to take this 4th base, but that could have been, you know, really done a little while ago now. He's got a lot of workers here, not really mining that efficiently at all. Livezerg is maxed out here once again, and he's looking as though he's going to be on a death march. He took down all of the Colossi there in that last fight. Some Tempests have now been warped in. We see some Archons coming in here as well. Some Storms are being saved up for. We saw the Immortals die too, so these Ultras are still very potent here in this game. Of course, then Tempests will always be a pretty good answer to anything that can't hit up. But this 4th base may very well die, and that would put DNS into a bit of a tough spot here once again. There's still Lings committing forward here initially, and the army coming forward here too. Now spotting the army coming out, and Balins are going to start coming forward. These Zealots are just going to absolutely melt. The Stalkers as well, not really any answer for anything here. Tempest and Void is going to work on anything that shoots upwards. The Queens, the Corruptors, if they can take down all of these Queens and all of these Corruptors, they will be able to take out the rest of this army eventually. But how much damage will be done before then? These Corruptors continue to fall. I mean, the Tempest just hits so slowly. A single Void Ray over here as well. The Ultras already making their way into this 3rd base, and this may be it for Against All Authority and DNS in the SC2Improve Team League Season 2. As he marches in, these probes take a lot of damage on their way out, and it looks as though DNS cannot hold on. That one fight on the other side of the map, he wasn't really ready to take it. And he just didn't quite have enough in the end. That 4th base as well doesn't really, the lack of it doesn't allow him to remax as fast as he would like. And now down on 60-70 supply is DNS as Vega Squadron's Livezerg looks to push his team to victory, push them into the semi-finals. It was not as easy as I think they were going to be expecting here today, but they're going to make it nonetheless here in the end. These probes just kind of long distance mining, trying to re-establish the 3rd base. DNS, I mean, he's not only holding on for himself in this game, but he's holding on for Against All Authority's tournament life. A DT falls though, a huge swell of Lings, even some Hydras being added on here for whatever reason. He comes in, Livezerg, he looks to deny the 4th base, he sees it isn't there, he must know this game is within his grasp as he's going to collapse in on this army once again, maybe not. Waiting to see some Tempest hit on some Lings. They're not really doing what they want to do here. And here we go, these Corruptors, these Lings, they come on forward, the Queens are behind. Corruption comes down to get some extra DPS on these Tempests. The last Ultra here as well, swiping down an Archon. DNS tries to make his last stand, but it's going to be GG. From DNS taps out, Vega Squadron move on through into the semi-finals of the SC2Improve Team League Season 2 But what a hard fight it was for them here today. A fight which I think they were expecting to come out to be a little bit easier. The Zerg combo of Johnny Rico and Live Zerg just a little bit too good here for against All Authority, and unfortunately that will be game. GG, well played. Vega Squadron advanced to the semi-finals. They play the winners of ESC Icy Box and Max Flow play most likely next week. Wow, wow, wow. We don't know when any of the other quarterfinals of this SC2ITL Season 2 are going to take place just yet, guys. But the bracket does look like this. So AAA, they do move, Vega Squadron do move on into the semi-final. In the bottom here, again, they play the winner of ESC and Max Flow. My Insanity play Alien Invasion in the round of 8, and AT Gaming play Gravity. And, well, what a series that was to start off the playoffs here for the Season 2 of the SC2ITL. Absolutely crazy series, and thank you to both of the teams and the players for putting on such a showing. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. It's been great to see all of you here. Big shout out to, again, anyone who has hit that follow button. If you have enjoyed the stream, hit the follow button on Twitch. We're approaching 1,000 followers, and yeah, it just means you can see when we go live again in the future. We're not streaming tomorrow unless someone's going to launch a surprise SC2Improve Team League game on us. But we'll be here on Tuesday with SC2Improve Summer League qualifier number 3, and we'll probably be having some more of the quarterfinals of the SC2ITL Season 2 throughout the week as well. SC2Improve.net is your place to be for all of the SC2Improve news and updates. We'll be uploading a post-match report of Vega Squadron against AAA with thoughts from the managers there sometime tonight as well. So do go check that out, SC2Improve.net. And if you want to play or get involved with SC2Improve events and so on, check us out on Twitter at SC2_Improve, and you'll be able to see whenever we come on, whenever we do events, etc, etc, etc. So guys, thank you once again for tuning in. Thanks for everyone who's hit the follow button already tonight. We're going to run some commercials on the outro. If you've got a few minutes and you want to support us, unlist us from your ad block and stick around for a few minutes while we run some ads. It does help us out, and it does help us put on more events. Guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on Tuesday for SC2Improve Summer League Qualifier 3. A huge congratulations once again to Vega Squadron on their victory. Shout out as well to ZowiGear.com. ZowiGear are sponsors for the SC2ITL Season 2. Guys, GG's, well played. Congratulations to Vega. Commiserations to AAA, but a fantastic showing from them. And we'll again see you guys on Tuesday for SC2ITSL.